Hey guys, it's Megan. For this discussion board, we were supposed to go over what we thought would be more expensive, as far as like the death penalty or being, having be sentenced to life without parole. Initially, when I first heard it, I was like, oh, well, life without parole was probably going to be the most expensive because you have to. In my head, I was like, well, you got to keep them alive, and they're going to be around for a while, and you got to feed them and house them and all that. But after doing some research, I figured out that wasn't the case, which was pretty interesting. On average, it's $740,000 on average for the spending for somebody that's sentenced to life. And then it was 1.26 million. That blew me away for somebody that's sentenced to death. So when I started researching it, I figured out that, and it makes sense really when you think about it, because it is someone's life, that you're talking about in these situations. So the trials are going to be very long and very detailed. So there was a couple things that I read about, like the legal cost. Most people on death row cannot afford their own attorney. So the state pays for their attorneys, and the state pays for the prosecution. So that was interesting. The pretrial cost. Capital cases are far more complicated than non-capital. We figured that out. And they take a lot longer to go to trial. So you're going to need a lot of different experts for these trials, or the pretrial cases, that'll come in and they'll tell you like their mental health stuff, and if there's any forensic involved in the cases, they'll have to bring experts in to testify on that. Let's see. Oh, the jury selection. Apparently, when there's a capital trial, all the jurors have to be questioned pretty thoroughly on their kind of like what their opinions are of the death penalty. So that stretches that out for a lot longer than a regular jury trial would last. And of course, people get paid for jury. It's not a lot. You don't get paid a lot, but you do get paid for jury duty. The trial, death penalty trials can last 4 times longer than a regular trial. So you're going to have to pay juror and attorneys, in addition to anybody that works in that court. So you're paying your judges, you're paying the people that take dictation, the bailiffs, anybody in the courtroom that's working. They all have to be compensated. The incarceration part. Most of these inmates have to be in specialized facilities, so they'll be like in a solitary confinement, and it costs a lot more to keep people in solitary than on average, like just a regular, where you have more freedom. And I didn't find out why, but I guess that's because you have to protect them. I guess people on death row are more targeted than other inmates. And then of course your appeals. Every prisoner has a right to an appeals. So and I guess they would have a lot more of those, their appeals, being that they're on death row. So, yep.